You gotta love the sound of that AK action. What's going on, guys? Glock Guy 226. Tonight we're going to be checking out my Arsenal SAM7SF. Here over the past month or so, I've gotten quite a few emails asking me about AKs, how my Arsenal SAM7SF's been running, and what kind of AK magazines I recommend. So tonight we're going to be throwing together a video kind of talking about all of these AK topics. So for those of you guys that don't know, this is my Arsenal SAM7SF. It is a milled Bulgarian rifle. I absolutely love this thing. Now, I've owned this rifle for about 2 years now, and I've never really had any issues out of it whatsoever. Now, for those of you guys that are familiar with this rifle, you can see that this is not in its stock configuration. I did go ahead and put a Midwest Industries handguard on here, and looking back, I wish I would have went with either a key mod or M-LOK system versus the Picatinny system. It just would have made it a little bit more ergonomic. But at the time, I think this was on sale. I got a good deal on it, and I really don't have an issue with it. It just would have been nice to have a little bit more ergonomic of a grip up front. Another thing that I did to change this rifle was when you buy the Arsenal SAM7SF, it comes with a Galil style safety as well as a saw style grip. Now, I did like that, but at the same time, when running an AK, I wanted to, have everything be similar to other AKs. Say I got this rifle and ran it for about 3 or 4 years, got used to that thumb style safety, and then wanted to sell it and go to another AK, I'd be so used to that thumb style safety that I'd be completely thrown off. It was easy to take off. I still have the parts. I could throw them back on there in about 10 minutes if I wanted to, but I really just wanted to keep that traditional single AK style safety on the right side of the receiver. Moving on from there, I did go ahead and swap out the Arsenal factory trigger. Now, it was a nice trigger, but ALG was cool enough to send me one of these AKT triggers, and so far I've really been liking this thing. Now, I have done a few videos as well as an install video on the AKT trigger. I will go ahead and link that above. But like I said, the factory Arsenal trigger is a very, very nice trigger for a factory AK. Now, one thing that makes the Arsenal SAM7SF a little bit different than the other rifles out there is it does have a NATO length buttstock. Now, typically on AKs, you're going to see a Warsaw pack length buttstock, which really makes it that much of a shorter rifle. I know some guys like that, some guys don't, and honestly, I've always liked the Warsaw length buttstocks. So when I first got this rifle, I didn't really know it had a NATO length buttstock, or maybe I knew, but I've just never ran one. And when I first went out and shot this thing, you can really tell the difference in the length of that buttstock. Over time, I've gotten used to it. I mean, I'm not a really tall guy or a big guy, anything like that. So it was quite a bit of a change up going from a normal Warsaw pack length buttstock to this NATO length. Now, like I said, I've gotten used to it. It's really not a big deal. I did go ahead and paracord wrap this buttstock just because running this thing in the winter here in Indiana was absolutely freezing with that metal stock. So wrapping it with some paracord really helped out. Another cool feature with the Arsenal SAM7SF is it is a right side folding stock. Now, the right side folding stocks are kind of unique in the AK world. You will see some of them out there, but more than likely it's going to be a left side folder. Now, what's nice about this setup is you can still run the action and you can still access your trigger group. Now, this was designed for guys that are in the military, getting in and out of vehicles, things like that. But for me, being a civilian, this comes most in handy hauling to and from the range. With that NATO length buttstock, this rifle is a little bit longer than some of my other rifles, so I simply just fold it up, throw it in the truck, or fold it up and throw it in a gun case, and I'm good to go. And there is one more thing that I really want to do with this rifle, and that is find an optic for it. Now, Midwest Industries makes a couple different top covers for this rail section that I already have. One of those would be a Burris Fastfire 3, which I have a Fastfire 3 I could put on here. And then they also make like the Aimpoint T1 micro mounts, which I could throw a Holosun on here if I wanted to do that. I just really want to know what you guys think about that. If you have ran either of those optics on an AK, I just think it would be nice to finally get an optic on this rifle. So let me know what you think down in the comments below. Enough talking about the rifle, let's go ahead and check out some of my favorite AK mags. Now, I have 4 different magazines laid out here, and these are the 4 mags that I like to stick to. I do have other AK magazines, but these are the 4 that I primarily try to buy. The first one we're going to check out is a Russian surplus steel magazine. Now, you really won't come across these as much as some of the other, new manufactured mags out there, but if you can ever get your hands on a Russian steel surplus mag or a number of them, I highly recommend picking them up. Me and a buddy found a pretty good amount of these at a gun show one year, and I want to say I paid about 15 bucks a piece for these things. So these have been great magazines. Now the next mag I have laid out here is similar to the Russian mag, but this is a Yugo bolt hold open mag. Now this is also a steel magazine built like a tank, and I love the finish on these Yugo bolt hold opens. I have a few that are like, they almost look blued. They're just beautiful magazines. When I got these Yugo bolt hold opens, they were covered in cosmoline, pretty good shape. Now some of them were used and whatever surplus dealer threw cosmoline on them, which isn't a bad thing. But I just like the fact that these are built like a tank, they have last round bolt hold open, and you can usually find these for about 20 bucks. Now I will go online and try to find somewhere where they are selling some Yugo bolt hold open mags and leave a link down in the description box. Now the next two magazines are mags that are pretty expensive. They can get up there in price. The first one is a Circle 10 waffle magazine. Now these are probably my all-time favorite magazines, but these things can range from, low end 40 bucks all the way up to $50. Now a few years ago, my buddy was looking for an Arsenal SAM7. I found him one, a great package deal, had a bunch of Circle 10 mags, and he got a really good deal on it. So he was cool enough to sell me 5 of these mags for 20 bucks a piece, and then I went ahead and ordered a few more just to have a decent supply of them. Now the next magazine is more of a collector's item to me. Yes, I have ran these, but I really like the collector's aspect. This is a Bakelite magazine, and this particular one is an Izzy. Now, Ismash and Tula have different stamps on their Bakelights, and I am by no means an AK guru. I know some of you guys probably watching this know way more about AKs or the history of these mags than I do. I just think these are really awesome mags, and they've proven to be very, very reliable. Now, you really can't get around how beautiful these are. Like I said, a lot of guys collect these, and I see these things going at local gun shows for $80 to $100 sometimes. Now I did find a deal on 2 of them. I want to say I paid like 30 bucks a piece or somewhere in that region. It was over a year ago, so I really can't remember. But I more or less bought them to have them as a collector's piece. So if you could ever get your hands on some Bakelights for a good price, I would definitely recommend doing that. Now keep in mind, those are just 4 of my favorite, my go-to AK mags. There are a ton of other great AK mags on the market. US Palms, which they don't make them anymore, that kind of sucks. Some of the newer Magpuls, like the M3s I think they were, I have quite a few of those with the steel tabs, and they've never given me an issue. And quite honestly, the other Magpul mags, their first gen of AK mags, have never given me an issue, but I really haven't went and abused them. But as far as go-to mags that you could trust your life to, I would stick to some of these old surplus mags, Circle 10s, or Bakelights. Now, that about covers it for the AK mags, and it about covers it for the AK. I just wanted to do a brief video because I've had a lot of guys asking me about this Arsenal, and this Arsenal over the past 2 years has never given me one issue whatsoever. Now I will have some content coming out more on the Arsenal SAM7SF here soon, but for now, thank you guys for watching. Thank you guys for all your support. Please like, share, subscribe. I'll catch you guys in the next one.